Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the Q&A session, which was meant to be when we got to 500 subscribers. We're now on 531, I think. Thanks to everyone who subscribed, thanks to everyone who gets involved, and thanks to everyone as well who's given me a question. I did this a few days ago now on Twitter, at Neymar, if you haven't already got me on there, if you want to get involved with asking questions. So we start first with Simon, who's a brilliant fan of mine. Which three footballers is your favourite and why? Now, I always get questions like this. It's so difficult to actually, determine three players. Out of all the players we have, there's so many players I admire and appreciate. The likes of Busquets, Iniesta, players like that who aren't really rated so highly, aren't all over all the front pages, but they're such good players and I appreciate them so much. Lionel Messi, of course, would be there as the most, noticeable one. He'd be the one who's at the top. Neymar, Suarez, there's so many players, so many brilliant players. It would be the Barcelona players from there. I don't think any other players would get into my top three, but it's a difficult one to actually pin down. So, question here from Ibrahim: do you think Montoya deserves a starting place in our side? No, I really don't. I think Dani Alves at the moment, Luis Enrique, now he's kept hold of him, now he's stayed at the club, will try and get the very best out of Dani Alves. I think Montoya has a long, long way to go in his development. It'll be interesting to see what sort of season he has. Of course, Douglas apparently on his way as well. I've never really rated Montoya, but as I keep saying, though, I'd love to see him prove me wrong. So if he does get his chance, I expect him to try and take it, and I expect to certainly see him develop a lot more this year. Sammy, who should start in the next game, Munir or Pedro? Well, it's a difficult one. I think Luis Enrique was quite key in saying that, we've got to give Munir time, we've got to take it slowly, we've got to develop him in the right way. I don't think Munir will start 2 games in a row, I can't see it, unless, again, we haven't got players fit. But the likes of Neymar and Pedro will be back against Villarreal, so I don't really see that Munir will get a start. But I'd love to see him on the bench. I want to see him involved in these La Liga games. I want to see him get a little bit of playing time as well. And all this experience and all this time with the first team will be really helping him as a player. Question here from Ray Messi: did we make a mistake when we sold Cesc Fabregas? Well, we've seen him for Chelsea. 2 games now he's played in. He's played very well. Outstanding pass to Andre Schürrle against Burnley. Which is a brilliant, brilliant first start for Cesc Fabregas. But I honestly think no. I look at Rakitic against Elche and he was outstanding. He brings a lot more to the table than I think Cesc did. Never really did it in the big games, Cesc Fabregas. And I'm grateful to him. I really like Cesc Fabregas, as a person. But as a player, he never really did it for us. It never really happened for him back at Barcelona. But, I think he'll be very, very successful at Chelsea, no doubt. Question here from Thiva, who's a new Barcelona fan, getting involved with her. Do you think Luis Suarez will start the El Clasico, and will Angel Di Maria complete his move to Man United? Di Maria's in United today. He's gone to Carrington, their training ground, Carrington. He's undergoing a medical, and he'll secure his move today. I would have thought it'll become official today for around £60 million. A lot of money, but, he's a very, very good player. Do I think Luis Suarez will start El Clasico? It'll be his first game back. Maybe not start, maybe come off the bench, but he certainly will be match fit. And I say that because in the international breaks, whenever they get a chance, Barcelona are going to be arranging friendlies so Suarez can play. They'll be arranging different friendlies, when he can play, when you can throw him in there, make sure he's match fit, get him some game time, and that's why they're going to be doing with Suarez and making sure he is ready if we do need him in the Clasico. In your opinion, what part of the team do we need to strengthen, midfield, striker, or defensive midfield? Well, I think I don't think we're going to make any more signings in this transfer window. There's only a few days now left. I think the board had a big meeting yesterday about the signings that are possibly going to come in. I just don't see us signing any more players. We spent a lot of money, and although we're banned for the next 2 windows, I think we've got more than enough talent ready for next season and the season after that. So I don't see us signing any more players this window. Were Mathieu and Vermaelen good choices, or should we have splashed 40 million straight on Benatia? A good question there from Omar El Hadidi. It's a very good question, because if Benatia is available, which it appears he is, he's apparently going to Bayern Munich now, but I think Vermaelen, if he stays fit, will be an outstanding signing. He's a really good defender, as long as he stays fit. We saw Mathieu against Elche there. He looks a very, very competent defender. He's very, very strong, very, very tall. He's pretty quick as well. So they both got attributes to be really, really good defenders. And I think in terms of if they can both stay fit, both stay on form, I think they'll be very, very good. But, maybe Benatia will have been a better signing. But then again, if Benatia got injured, then when he came, we were back to square one. So it was quite important we brought in 2 centre-backs. So in that respect, it's not so bad. Question here from Ash. What happened to Isco? What's your opinion on him? Well, I just think when you go to Real Madrid, as he did, from Malaga, such a bright talent, one of the most exciting young players in world football. When you go to Real Madrid, you're always running the risk of what's happened to Isco, which is basically he's fallen massively down the pecking order. He struggles to start matches. He's not got any confidence. He's not actually appearing much for the national team at the moment as well. So when you got a player like that, it's always risky to go to Real Madrid. Question here from another good guy, Matevs, Cuadrado or Marco Reus? In terms of quality and in terms of the player itself, Marco Reus. In terms of coming to Barcelona, I would choose Cuadrado. I think we don't really need Reus. There's a lot of questions here regarding Reus. Do we need him? Shall we sign him? What are we going to do? I don't think we need him. He wouldn't fit in. I'd hate to see a player of his quality just waste away on the bench. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think Cuadrado, if he did join, which it looks unlikely now, by the way, if he did join, then it would be an interesting move because he would give us something a bit different down the right-hand side, whether he plays as a wing-back, a right-back, or a right-winger. But I think certainly in terms of quality, I think Marco Reus is the better player, but Cuadrado would suit us a lot better. Question here from Riley saying, do you think Neymar, Suarez and Messi's combination will work out? And that's an interesting question. A lot of people are saying, they're different players, different type of players that it won't work. Well, that's the best thing about a combination. You need players who bring different things to the table. You need players who are different, who are unique. And those three players all bring something different to our starting lineup. And I think Neymar will bring the pace, the agility, the speed, the skill, the quick technical play. Lionel Messi, of course, has it all. And Luis Suarez is the complete player. In the box, he'll score. Give him a chance, he'll tuck it away. That's what we needed, a striker, somebody we can pinpoint. And I think that's very, very important. I think when he does finally come back, when he can play, I think that they will be a very, very good combination. Question here from Aboud. Is Luis Enrique's training leading to injuries? Well, we've seen a few injuries come through Barcelona at the moment. The likes of Neymar, which is an ankle sprain, so that can really happen to anyone. It's a bit of a freak incident. Adriano with the irregular heartbeat, again, nothing to do with the training at all. That was discovered in the medical. So I don't think Enrique's training is leading to injuries. He'll know the players' limits, he'll know the boundaries, and he'll know, how far he can push them. I think, of course, they're going to have to get fitter, they're going to have to get better, but certainly I don't think it's leading to injuries, no. Will Neymar be better than Bale this season? A question here from Wahab. Well, I think that's an interesting question, because last season Bale had a good first season with Real Madrid, scored some key goals. Wasn't as incredible as everyone made out, though. There's a few stats there which made it look like he had a better season than he did. There's still more to come from Gareth Bale, but I think Neymar, there's a hell of a lot more to come from him. He's a guy who can explode onto the scene this season and really make an impact, and I genuinely believe that he will, and I think he will be better than Gareth Bale this season, because it's a very, very big season coming up for Neymar. The pressure's off him. The World Cup's over. He played very, very well at the World Cup. And now it's time for him to really establish himself in the Blaugrana colours. So those are just a few of the questions, guys, just to get the 500 Q&A out of the way. And now we're on to the big one. The next Q&A will be an absolutely massive one when we get to 1,000 subscribers. I'll make sure I answer every single question when we get to 1,000 subscribers. It may be a while, but let's hope we can get there as quick as possible. Thanks to all your questions and everyone who got involved. And let's hope for the best in a very exciting season to come. So thanks for watching. As always, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon in the next podcast.